I looked at everything from a scientific perspective. So if you look at, for example, instantaneous acceleration, which was one of the observables of the program that I belong to, ATIP, the human body can withstand about 9 G-forces for a short period of time before you suffer negative biological consequences, blackouts and ultimately redouts and even death. Comparison, our best technology, the F-16, which is it's an older platform, but one of our most highly maneuverable aircraft, manned aircraft, made by General Dynamics, can perform about 17 or 18 G-forces before you start having structural failure, meaning that the airframe begins to disintegrate while you're flying. The vehicles we're talking about are performing in excess of 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 Gs.
Based on what I've seen, not speculating, based on the evidence that I've seen, there's something out there. So what I can tell you is I'm just telling you as me that they're real. And I'm not the only one. You just saw the Secretary of State in a documentary addressing the same thing.
I am telling the truth. I've tried to prove that what's going on up there could be the most important event in history. You're talking about contact, physical contact and proof from another system, another planet, another intelligence. That's got to be the biggest event in history, period.
What do we make of Bob Lazar's story? Maybe he's telling it straight.
And it's real.
And it's real and it's there.
Steven Spielberg is coming out with a new movie, Disclosure Day. It looks awesome. The world will probably be captivated by it. He's incredible at making films, especially about aliens. But the man cut his teeth and earned his stripes making other films like Indiana Jones, a movie franchise that is loved and iconic for people of my generation and many others. Such a great feeling, tone, style, sense of humor, adventure, intrigue. He blended all of that. And those movies stand up. They have been borrowed off and copied and emulated, but never like the original. And in fact, the entire Indiana Jones series is taking from many other things that came before it, but blending them so well together and executing it in a way that's just fantastic. Because, half the time, he's fighting the Nazis. We're talking about the 30s and the 40s. The original, just classic bombshell of a movie that was dropped upon our faces. It came out in 1981, but the movie is set in 1936. And he's searching for the Ark of the Covenant, Raiders of the Lost Ark. And it's a supernatural, cosmically powerful thing, very mysterious, kind of magical. You open the box and it's a bunch of pretty angels, but then they age very fast, which is a frightening thing. And everyone's face melts and blows up. No explanation as to why, but I sort of blame the IDF. You're talking about a period piece. You're hunting for the location of a very powerful object. That whoever is in possession of it, I think that's a line from the movie, they will rule the world, basically.
Obviously, the Nazis are looking for the headpiece to the Staff of Ra, and they think Abner's got it.
What exactly is a headpiece to the Staff of Ra?
Well, the staff is just a stick, I don't know, about this big. Nobody really knows for sure how high, and it's capped with an elaborate headpiece in the shape of the sun, with a crystal in the center. And what you did was you take the staff to a special room in Tanis, a map room with a miniature of the city all laid out on the floor. And if you put the staff in a certain place at a certain time of day, the sun shone through here and made a beam that came down on the floor here and gave you the exact location of the Well of the Souls.
Where the Ark of the Covenant was kept, right?
Which is exactly what the Nazis are looking for.
Now, what does this Ark look like?
There's a picture of it right here. That's it.
Good God.
Yes, that's just what the Hebrews thought.
Now what's that supposed to be coming out of there?
Lightning. Fire. Power of God or something.
Beginning to understand Hitler's interest in this thing.
Oh, yes. The Bible speaks of the Ark leveling mountains and laying waste to entire regions. An army which carries the Ark before it is invincible.
It's the three potentialities, or the three directions you can take gravity in. Space with the craft, propulsion, time with time dilation, and then weaponization is like how to manipulate gravity. How do we maximize the manipulation of gravity, right? Weapons, time, space. Control that. That's like the Holy Trinity. Like you have that, you rule the world, right?
Yeah. Look, if you can produce gravity, if you can control gravity, you have a machine that makes gravity, and you can control its intensity, you already rule the world.
Yeah.
You know, you don't realize the potential that has because, as I've said before, all the stuff you've seen in science fiction movies now becomes a reality.
Yeah.
Now you've got force fields, now you've got time travel, now you've got warp drive. Everything hinges on that. And if the other side gets that, you lose.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, you'd have to know how to use it or replicate it or weaponize it, and it would appear that we have failed on all of those fronts, but it's fun for a joyride around the desert. But 89, as long ago as that was, is not the start of this UFO story, or S-4. It was built long before that, and we have some speculation. We are on the hunt to figure out when the whole thing started, which is why it was intriguing that Luigi, not the murderer, the filmmaker who did S-4, he came out and said he has a map from 1941 during World War II, Nazis taking over the Earth, and on this map, there's a road that goes directly into S4. So the map is very hard to find. It's like an old treasure map, and it could be the clue that leads us to the place that stores the Ark of the stores a UFO that has a propulsion system and a technology that would revolutionize the story of humanity. Interestingly enough, the Ark of the Covenant at the end of that movie is taken to a warehouse and stashed away. Very famous scene at the end of that film. That warehouse is in Area 51, which is right where we're talking about. So the overlap in the comparison is kind of eerie. Spielberg did that movie. Spielberg's doing Disclosure film about aliens and UFOs. Spielberg already did an Indiana Jones movie that had aliens and UFOs. But we're talking about the exact same secret military base. And that was the first secret military base that Bob Lazar whistle-blew on. He's whistleblowing on a second one within the same base. So if you didn't trust him the first time, and yet that was confirmed, you should trust him the second time. Now, if you didn't trust him the second time, and then that gets proven to be correct, are you going to trust him on the next thing he says? Will you give him a little break, a little smidge of a benefit of a doubt? I think he's earned it.
But that picture...
You're talking about Luigi's
Yes.
image?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Or, I mean, there's also a guy that, did that on Google Earth.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, but there's the Luigi's image.
Yeah. That's perfect. It's exactly the way it looked.
Yeah. And, not only that, I mean, he's had Ron Masters, who is a spectronomy expert, look at, the pixels and everything else and deem this to be authentic, that those are indeed anomalous shapes.
Oh, right.
They're not natural.
Mm-hmm.
And you can count 9 doors. I mean, that is an incredible piece of vindicative sort of like just information that completely exonerates that whole story for me. How did that feel when you saw that picture for the first time? Did that stir anything in you?
I mean, it's always great to be vindicated by, to some degree, but to me, I already know that's the way it is.
Yeah.
So it's hard to impress me about that. Hey, what you said is right. Yeah, I know. So
Fair enough.
so I can't get too excited about it. But it's nice to see less people saying you're absolutely full of shit.
Yeah. When I saw that, I mean, it was almost scary. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. That's and not to say that I don't believe your story. That's not what I'm saying, but it is something else from an onlooker, outside looking in, somebody who's trying to be pragmatic and logical about things.
No, but it's a fair thing to say. I mean, you can't believe it. You need enough information.
Yeah.
And if I can't provide that, then it's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say, hey, I mean, what you say might be true, it might be not. And that's it. But you can't make a distinction either way.
Yep.
Without more information. You can't see it. This is just total nonsense. Well, I mean, to give me a break, look at the facts. And if the facts start piling in, it starts leaning my way.
Yep.
And it's just nice to see that it's been going that way.
Yeah, it's been pretty one-sided, actually. It's been leaning to your side, I think, since the beginning.
This is Luigi describing what he found on this old map that might be a clue as to what our government has been up to and what they are hiding from us.
That geometric shape, or those geometric shapes, are actually there. And so, and
they are absolutely there.
And I say in my film, and Bob agrees, this does not prove flying saucers, nor does it prove that flying saucers were there. This has nothing to do with the Bob Lazar flying saucer claim.
But it does strongly suggest someone built that facility.
Right, because there's something there.
Into the mountain.
Absolutely, undeniable. So that is evidence that made it into the film. I also have additional evidence now that I'm going to be supplying through our channel that is going to be coming out very soon, and I'll gladly share that with you very soon. I was able, so my team and I also did a lot of work in trying to locate some of the maps from that area from back then. Initially, it was Gene who got them for us through the Department of the Interior of the United States. And we went into a deep dive for a few months with that. Unfortunately, the film was already done and we had already submitted it, but we found one map. There is one historical map.
This is like Indiana Jones, but just from a guy who is a bit shorter, more Italian, and he's also French Canadian. Okay, it's actually nothing like Indiana Jones. A little bit though. A little bit it is. Listen to what he had to say.
Of Papoose Lake that was made in 1941, before all the government took over that entire land. That map clearly, and I mean absolutely clearly, shows a road going right into the hill where S-4 is located. Not near it, right into it.
Prior to 1941.
In 1941.
Yeah.
And so that, and it mentions a silver mine. So it is very likely that the S-4 facility might have been built on top of utilizing the already existing mine shaft that was there, and obviously built a base out there. But the point is, how would Bob Lazar know this in 1989? How would he know at exactly that location that's what was there?
Oh, yeah. Well, there's so many things that Bob should never have known if he was just hoaxing this back in 1989 that he just happened to get exactly right.
So I reached out to Luigi, and he was nice enough to chat with me. I congratulated him on his film, was gushing about it because it is an amazing film, an incredible accomplishment, and you can see why it took years to make. And as we were going back and forth, talking UFOs, talking Bob, talking how we know what we know, he sent me the maps that he has been talking about. He's going to be releasing these to the world, but he sent them to me first. He talked about it on Rogan.
But another interesting thing he pulled up was there was an old silver mine exactly there in the exact same place. And I wonder if they used that as it was already drilled. There was already, corridors in there.
I actually held this for this show. What I'm about to say is the first time ever. It didn't make it in my film. I wish it did, but it didn't make it in the film. Veronica on our team, she's my sister. She's like my right hand. And if I didn't have her, I wouldn't be here right now. She found this And at a certain point, we were looking at the maps out there, and you'll see in my film that Gene Huff sent us some U.S. Department of the Interior official maps of that environment at the Groom Lake, Papoose Lake. But we weren't satisfied. We wanted to go deeper. We said there's got to be more. And there's one map that is a publicly available map. It's super not easy to find, by the way. That is in the hands of the U.S. Department of the Interior. I could get it to you if you want. I can email it to you. That map is the oldest map of Papoose Lake known in the hands of the government that is public domain. That map, and everybody's going to be listening to this, clearly shows a road that goes right into where S-4 is. It doesn't show a road near it. It shows a road going right in the mountain. And they removed it. That map is from 1941. Okay? Right after that, the map is 1950 and 1952, and those roads were removed. But the oldest map we ever found, it's going to be available. We're going to post it on our website. It's going to be everywhere. It shows clear as day a road that goes right into the mountain, exactly where Bob Lazar said S-4 was.
So do you think that was the road to the silver mine initially?
Yes, I believe that, yeah.
It makes sense that they would use an existing facility and just enlarge it instead of start from nothing.
Right, of course, especially if it's abandoned.
Yeah.
Now, before I show you the map in question, I want to bring you back to Indiana Jones and a scene of him as a professor of archaeology telling his students one thing. He's warning them and trying to tap the brakes that archaeology is not some fun, exciting thing. It's actually quite boring. It's a lot of paperwork. It's a lot of removing dust from a bone. That sounded vaguely sexual. Maybe I'm thinking of the Jurassic Park dude and what he was up to. Either way, it's not fun. It's not adventurous. It's not as sexy as as you might hope it to be. And also, X never marks the spot.
Archaeology is the search for fact, not truth. If it's truth you're interested in, Dr. Tyree's philosophy class is right down the hall. So forget any ideas you got about lost cities, exotic travel, and digging up the world. We do not follow maps to buried treasure, and X never, ever marks the spot.
All right, so brace yourself. This is the map that I was sent. It is an old map, hand-drawn, of the Nevada desert near Area 51, Groom Lake. But if you go south, here is Papoose Lake. And if you follow this road, one of the roads goes over the lake. That's not Jesus walking on water. These are dry lake beds. We should probably have a different word than lake to describe them. Don't know why it's put in blue there. There's no water. But look over here. And what do you know? You have a road going directly into the mountain. Now this lines up to exactly where S-4 is located, or what Bob and subsequently Luigi say in terms of the location of S-4. They're saying it's right there. In that proximity to Papoose Lake, south of Groom Lake, this is the same spot. And this is a map from 1941. And if you zoom in here, we have a symbol of two pickaxes, kind of like a pirate symbol, and they're crossing each other, forming an X. So in this case, Dr. Jones, X does mark the spot. This is a mine, a silver and gold mine that they set up even before the gold rush. They were seeking fortune. There's gold in them there hills, and they were hunting for it. So they were excavating. There was human development in that area going back to the 40s. Now this lends a lot of credence to the idea that maybe they took a pre-existing silver mine and modified it to be a military installation, build a bunch of hangars in there, and that's where they're going to set up shop to reverse engineer a UFO. Now, the only problem with this map. Now, how many times have I said, I don't want to believe, I want to know? Luigi's the same way. He's skeptical. He's skeptical about a lot of things. And he's not going to believe just because he wants to believe. He actually wants to know. He was skeptical about Bob Lazar. Now, that skepticism withered and died the more he worked with him, because his story is so rock solid and there's 100 different points of confirmation that Luigi discovered while working on this project with Bob. Points that lined up and checked out, and there was no way Bob could have known these things. So he is thoroughly convinced with Bob, but he wants to know the truth on anything, which is why I felt obligated to tell him that when I kicked the tires on this map, it didn't pass my test. Because it turns out this is not Papoose Lake. So X doesn't mark the spot. That is a small tear-shaped lake that is above Papoose. It's not named, as far as I can tell, and it's below Groom. Now, this is a very easy mistake to make because the way this map is, you're thinking this is an old map. Groom Lake is not even the same size in this map as it is in real life. You could see the satellite, the side-by-side. And your eyeballs, if you're going to look for Papoose, you're following the road, you're going down, curving around Papoose mountain range, and you're looking for the first body of water, basically. And that's going to be Papoose. So he sees a body of water, the tip of which looks like the same alignment as Papoose. It's blue. You're not aware that there's another lake bed in between the two, so you think, okay, well, that's Papoose. Now, it's not the exact same shape as Papoose, but maybe it's changed. Maybe they got it wrong. Maybe 80 years ago, it was different. And also, it looks like Papoose in the sense that the mountain range comes very close to the edge of the water. That is how Papoose looks. But if you zoom back, the map, it's clearly not Papoose. Papoose is down there, is shaped like that, has not changed shape over the years, and it's just he missed that. And he got hyper-focused, locked in, and then got excited that this road went into the mountain range where he thought S-4 was. And it's true that the road goes in there. There is a bunch of mining in there. You can see it today. Look, there are roads here and mines, but this is just not even Papoose Lake. So this is a big nothing. And, you know, I felt bad telling him that, but he would want to know that. He's not going to now continue to run with this. It's just a mistake, an honest mistake. You could easily see how he'd make it. On this map, look at the way it portrays the mountains near Papoose. It looks like it's miles away. It's not. The mountains go right up to the edge of Papoose Lake. So the map is not exactly accurate, and it's an easy mistake to have fallen into. But back to that X marks a spot thing. Maybe all is not lost, because if you look at this map and you zoom in, there's another X down here. And it's the same mining symbol, and it's at the southern tip of the Papoose Mountains. So right here near S4, you had mining going on way back in the day, in the 30s. This one in particular is called the Kelly Mine, and they had multiple tunnels and they were excavating and digging through there for years. So maybe S4 was a continuation or involved with the Kelly Mines, and maybe X does mark the spot. Cue the music.
X marks the spot.
Actually, cut the music. It's not. These mines are 4 miles away, and there's a whole mountain range in between, and the tunnels were not extensive. It's not like the Viet Cong down there. Altogether, they might be half a mile of tunnels. So it's nowhere near, actually, where they're claiming S4 is, which is over here. So the Kelly Mines does not mean that there's evidence that there's a mine at S4. It doesn't mean there's excavation. It does prove, however, though, that people close to 100 years ago were digging up that mountain range. So it's not the most shocking thing in the world that there'd be another mine near some other mines. They were there, and by the way, here's a map from the early 50s that shows a road. See this road? Going right past S4. So they drove right along that thing and have been driving that route for the past 70 years. And we know that. But it's not a smoking gun, and it's not really something to write home about. And so it's not going to help us believe the story that Bob has laid out about S4 is a secret base. What does he say?
Former government scientist has alleged that the U.S. military is flying recovered UFOs at a secret base in the Nevada desert. The allegations about the secret facility near the Groom Mountains first surfaced on Eyewitness News last Friday.
Scientist Bob Lazar says there are at least 9 of the flying saucers being tested and that they were not built on Earth. George Knapp has more in the continuation of our series on UFOs.
Yeah, it's obvious it came from somewhere else other than Earth.
Scientist Bob Lazar is convinced that the technology he saw being tested at a secret base in the Nevada desert is of alien origin, and for Lazar, the proof is at least partially in the furniture. One of the 9 flying discs he says he saw at the base, which was designated S4, looks exactly like this UFO photographed in Europe. Lazar called it the sport model.
I gave everything simple names. There's the top hat one, and the Jello mold, and the sport model operated without any hitches at all. I mean, it looked new. If I know what a new flying saucer looks like.
There is at least circumstantial confirmation for some parts of Bob Lazar's account. For one thing, there really is a place called S-4 on the Nellis Range. That, according to Nellis Public Affairs Captain Jeff Milkey. Milkey told us the military operates certain equipment at S-4, but he wouldn't say exactly where it's located or what equipment is tested there. Lazar says he and other personnel would muster at EG&G and would then be flown to Groom Lake aboard planes much like these, photographed outside EG&G's Nellis facility. Once at Groom Lake, Lazar says, he would ride a bus down a long dirt road to S-4, adjacent to Papoose Lake. The latest maps of that area show a long dirt road leading from Groom to Papoose.
It's true. What I have seen is true. I don't know about the big story, where they came from, what they're like, but certainly these crafts came from another, not just another planet, another solar system entirely, extremely far away, and they're here.
Let it be known that it's very difficult to find anything in a desert. We have Spaceballs 2 coming out. Mel Brooks, I mean, thank God he's around and he's willing to make this. We're going to have a good time with Spaceballs 2. But in Spaceballs 1, we learned if you're going to comb the desert for something, it's rather hard to find anything.
Found anything yet? Nothing yet, sir. How about you? Not a thing, sir. What about you guys? We ain't found shit.
And when you have people scouring this little area of Earth, a desert, for years, for like 35 years, people have been looking for S-4 and have found nothing. Man, we ain't found shit. And so one begins to wonder, maybe Bob was lying. Maybe this is nothing. Maybe the Ark of the Covenant is lost, as is the Holy Grail. There is no magic in the world. There is no adventure. X doesn't mark the spot. This is why we can't have nice things.
They talk about this place called Site 4, Papoose Lake, where we've never found evidence of anything.
We need the physical evidence. Where is the physical evidence?
But what about S-4? Folks, there is ample and convincing evidence that prove that there is literally nothing there.
Elusive S-4, nowhere to be found. There is no evidence whatsoever.
This S-4 ridiculous hangars that are painted with sand.
There's nothing there.
Well, everything changed with the coronavirus. So somebody in a wet market out in China was having sex with a bat and they produced a virus. That went around the world and it sort of shut things down and everything came to a grinding halt, including Area 51. So on Christmas Day, 2020, there wasn't much activity at Area 51. It was an off day. People were at home and eating and trying to not die. And it was on that day that a little fat man who sold his soul named Gabe Zeifman.
To keep your integrity when you're going for that first little fat man who sold his soul. The little fat man who sold his dream.
Took his plane and his Nikon camera and he flew up around Area 51. And he got permission that day. 30% of the time they said, yes, you can go through. Because you're far away, what are you going to do? Expose a government secret? Yeah, he did. So this chubby little loser gets in his plane. He thinks that Bob Lazar is lying.
Chubby little loser. Chubby little loser.
He thinks there are no hangars in the mountains. He has done interviews about this. He is not impressed. The guy who took the picture that exposed the hangars is a cynic and a skeptic and a chubby little loser.
National joke. No, not chubby little loser. No. Pathetic little fat man. No one's bloody laughing. The clown that no one laughs at. They all just wish he died.
Exactly. Anyway, he took this picture and it has been up there for years. But then there is a young man who goes by the name Scott Mitchell. And Scott Mitchell, it sounds like a name. Is it even a real name? Is that a name-generated name? Scott Mitchell? Like, come on, do you have a middle name? Scott Mitchell, he wanted to figure out if this story was true. And so he went over those photos. And there was a photo that the chubby little fat man loser took. And it's this picture. This is how far away his plane was. Let me show you the mountain in question that we are detecting 9 hangars in. It's this one back here. That's where the secret military base is. where they're stashing UFOs. Okay? This is Area 51. And you're saying, Devin, look, it's too grainy. There's pixelation. What are we talking about? Well, this is the non-zoomed version. So that camera rotated and zoomed, and it gave us this picture. And in this picture, Scott Mitchell bumped the saturation. He bumped the levels. He made it a little bit brighter because the original is like this. And that ain't no good. You can't see anything there. But is there a man-made structure there? Or is this just it's too vague? I don't know anything. I barely know what the sun is. Am I on a planet? Are we landing on the moon? Where am I? What does anything mean? And the question becomes, okay, well, that's interesting and noteworthy, and most of the world has just totally ignored that. I'm not impressed, sir. I'm not impressed. Well, Scott Mitchell was impressed, and Scott Mitchell has been working on this for a long time, and it begs the question, who is Scott Mitchell? People are talking about him. Who is this guy?
I talked to this guy, and he's really, really good at researching, and he ended up becoming probably one of the best he's one of the best I've ever seen. His name is Scott Mitchell.
But there is evidence. I will not show it because I promised somebody I would not, but there is somebody who has done amazing work. Hopefully he will come forward and show his work. I was blown away with it. Very clear, very well done.
So you took a shot at the photos that have been made public. Tell us what you see and what you show in the film.
The information that came to us was given to me by a guy called Scott Mitchell. When we were in the full heart of making this, basically we're in the heat of this, we were talking to somebody specifically about the terrain. In fact, specifically when Scott Mitchell, a person who contacted me to show me the hangar door evidence that you see in my film, it's on a photograph. This was on a photograph, not the Google Earth. We were discussing if we were going to be allowing that to be part of the film. Yeah. We were not sure. We had to vet him. We had to vet the picture. We had to make sure that it could be reproduced by anybody, which we did.
People have looked at this and looked and re-looked. Some people have devoted their lives to try to debunk anything that Bob Lazar ever said. I don't know how they're going to debunk what the inside of S-4 looked like because none of them have ever been there. But a lot of people have been looking for the outside. And we need to remind our viewers and those who are new to this story that S-4, according to Lazar, was built into the side of this mountain. These hangars are there, and they're disguised so that they look like the desert, and so that they couldn't be seen from above, even by satellites. The film that you produced, Luigi, takes an advance in that regard. You were looking for it for a long time, meticulous as you are, to see if there are any signs of the exterior of S-4. We haven't shown any of that yet, and we don't want to spoil the surprise, but what can you say about what you did find?
Well, there is a big piece of evidence that is in the film that was presented, and we were contacted by a gentleman called Scott Mitchell, who was reaching out to us and wanting to provide us some of the details.
Well, I'm about to introduce you to Scott Mitchell because I reached out to him, and he's a real guy, and he's a real character. This is his logo. Let me just walk you through a little bit of what we know about Scott Mitchell. Oh, D. Okay. He goes by the handle Weisberger, which apparently is a gamer tag that he used back in the day. Scott Mitchell. He's trademarked his own name. Okay. Not sure if that's a thing. He was posting pics like this up on his Instagram, and it's him in shadow. That is him. He does wear necklaces like that. Okay. It's incredibly intriguing. He's a man of mystery. Here he is. He's got a watch on. He's got a little haircut there and couple of ears, but he's in shadow because he's a mysterious man. Here he is with glowing eyes, looking rather demonic. He appears to have facial hair. He could be Satan. Here he has some sort of cosmic dust particles looking like space-time or the universe pouring out of his eyeballs. He made this, so I guess he sees things we don't see. He has tapped into the universal fabric of reality in a way that we just cannot be. Here's a picture of Scott Mitchell in what appears to be a throne. So I think he's a king of some kind. He has a healthy brand of self-esteem. Here he is in shadow. On the center, that is Bob Lazar. On the left, that is Luigi, the filmmaker of S-4. And on the right, that is Scott Mitchell. They have met, not in person, they've met over Skype. Here's a picture of one of their conversations that he had where it's Scott Mitchell pointing to where he thinks Area S-4 is and evidence that he thinks he has found. And Bob and Luigi are locked in and paying attention and listening to what he's saying. This is an illustration he did of that conversation where Bob is realizing that someone has found the hangars. Scott Mitchell has censored himself there, but let's pull back the curtain a little bit. Let's see what this Scott character is all about. First, let me just showcase to you, and in all fairness, this is an image he created where he actually has demonic horns coming out of his head. Not sure why one would do that, but in case that wasn't bad enough, his arms have now turned into a lava structure. He is coursing with power and vengeance, and he could be the spawn of Satan. This is a more clear photo of him. This is actually the guy. And I'm just going to present this to you. I couldn't make this up if I tried. This is Scott Mitchell. Now here is a drawing of him. Now you can see his face. This is looking far less satanic here. And this is a moment that has not happened, but they're out in the desert, and it's Luigi and Bob Lazar and Scott Mitchell, whose left hand is larger than Bob and Luigi's heads put together. So I don't know if he is like Hellboy and just has a huge hand. These are the questions we need answered. This is him paying tribute to the video call he had with Bob Lazar and Luigi. And here's a still shot from that video call. Multiples. So they are laughing, they are talking. That is Scott Mitchell. He is animated, he is loud. There's joy happening. Now imagine what he sounds like. What would you expect this man to sound like? Scott Mitchell. Well, I can tell you, I've spoken to him, and it's one of those things you wouldn't expect, because he is from America, which is why I was not expecting a British accent to come out of his mouth. And when he dropped it, I was like, holy shit, this guy sounds like Christopher Hitchens. Not only does he have a strong British accent, it sounds like he's highly educated. So his speaking vocabulary, he might have gone to Oxford or Cambridge. He uses words I regularly don't know what they mean, and I'm too embarrassed to pause him and say, hold on, Scott, explain to me what you just said. He sounds kind of like a Bond villain mixed with Douglas Murray and Christopher Hitchens, and he uses Sam Harris's speaking vocabulary. And so I don't want you to be intimidated by that. He is a nice guy, a normal guy, and he does have the evidence and the goods. So it's not a matter of trusting him, but I just don't want you to be weirded out or intimidated that he happens to be a supremely educated and eloquent speaker with a thick British accent. Okay, don't hold that against him, is what I'm saying to you. Having said that, this is one of the first things that he ever sent to me where I heard his voice.
Man, what up, cuz? You don't know the fuck you talking about. That bitch ass nigga don't even know what you talking about, cuz.
Okay, I'm not sure if you caught that.
Man, what up, cuz? You don't know the fuck you talking about. That bitch ass nigga don't even know what you talking about, cuz.
I did a translate on that. It says, man, what up, because you don't know the fuck you talking about. That bitch ass nigga don't even know. So that, I don't think that's exactly, hold on.
Man, what up, cuz? You don't know the fuck you talking about. That bitch ass nigga don't even know what you talking about, cuz.
Now, he is putting on a black dialect, but he is capable of doing that. So I thought I was loosely aware of black culture. This man was drenched in it. Okay, he comes from the South, and he is up to speed with the vernacular. He's saying "cuh" as in C-U-H. He writes it in YouTube comments. And I said to him, I'm like, you said nah, cuh. He literally wrote nah, cuh. And he's like, oh, I switch into that mode just to sort of be funny. And I go, is that as in cuz, as in cousin? I said, I grew up in proximity to blacks, not like you, but close enough. And he's like, it's ghetto slang for nigga, person, fellow, etc. Not cuz, it's cuh. And I say, no, I think it's gotta be from cuz as its origin. He says, it's like a challenging fighting word, greeting, slang. I say, no, I get the connotation. I'm trying to crack the cuh case. And I pull up a ChatGPT of it. I'm like, cuh is basically a slang version of cousin, but it doesn't literally mean family in most cases. It's more like saying bro, homie, or my guy. Where it comes from, it traces back to African American vernacular English, strongly associated with Los Angeles, West Coast street culture, especially Compton, cuh, and surrounding areas. Popularized by gang culture, particularly the Bloods. What up, blood? Or cuz became a common way to address each other. Why cuh specifically? It's just phonetic shift. Cousin, cuz, cuh. And so he doesn't even know the origin of it. He's just using it because it's his local slang. He hears it all the time. That's him just sort of having fun, putting on a little voice. Let me give you the actual him. And he's a bit of animated character. You have to get used to him. It's like when you're talking with Samuel L. Jackson, he might call you a motherfucker, and you don't deserve it. You have to take it as a term of endearment. For example, here's an exchange. I said, I'm ready to go. If you are around, let's go over stuff. And then some time passed. I slept. I'm in London. He's in America. I say, hey there, how's it going? Here's his response to me.
Motherfucker, I can't do audio or talk after like probably 9 p.m. my time because there's a dude in the next room sleeping. So try to hit me earlier in the day for the audio calls.
Not sure if I totally deserve that energy or attitude or motherfucker. I was simply saying, hi, how are you doing? Would you like to talk? He then followed it up with this.
Oh yeah, and you pussy, cuh.
And this.
And you fat and black.
Okay, I am neither fat nor black. I'm actually thin and white. And as far as me being pussy, I don't even know why I deserve that. But I guess, no, sir, I am not a pussy, but okay. So I'm trying to acclimate myself to this Oxford-educated Christopher Hitchens type, and he's peppering me with this.
Come on, man, move it. Come on, we got shit to do.
And he's also the first person in my life to ever refer to me as baby doll.
Oh, baby doll, I'm about to introduce you to a whole new world.
But he wants me to be patient, and he's going to explain it all to me in time.
Just have patience, man. This is very technical. This is a lot of shit. All your questions, all your concerns that you have will get answered. Just be patient and go through this with me thoroughly if you actually want the answers.
I do want the answers. And one of the first questions I had is, how did you get from this image, the raw image, from that stubby little loser, no one's bloody laughing, from him, and turn it into this enhanced version? Okay, we simply need to know that because you presented this version that's all orange and bright. That is not the raw photo. The raw photo looks like this. How did you go from A to B? We are doing our due diligence and checking to see if you bullshitted something from A to B. Now, he takes offense to the very question. This guy has a chip on his shoulder. He's not here to convince you or me. He is thoroughly convinced and has been working on this for multiple years. And my normal, totally justified question of how did you enhance this? I got met with this kind of energy from this dude.
Bruh, that's day one shit. That's beginning analysis. That's like, bruh, like, oh, we got so much to talk about. Yo, you need to get the ketchup out the fridge, cause you need to catch up.
Nah, bruh, dude. So I'm apparently an ignoramus and a dickhead for asking this very simple and mandatory question of what did you do to the raw image? Because you didn't present the raw image and say, look, there are the hangers. You presented an enhanced image. So you did something to it. I need to know what you did, and I need you to replicate what you did. So he came back with this.
Yeah, it don't matter what program they use. You can do it with fucking any program, bro. Like, it doesn't matter. All you're doing is bringing out the details of the image. You don't have to use anything special. You can goddamn do it on a phone app, bro. The easiest tool to use on anything is the curves tool. On Photoshop, that's what I use. I've been doing professional graphic designing for almost 15 years. I use Photoshop because I can actually do any technical, tiny details I want to do. And I use Windows, I don't use Mac. The curves tool, you know, the little graph thing where you can move the darks and brights up and down, that is the most useful tool for 90% of shit I use, because you can literally, like, don't use the brightness and contrast tool. Don't use that shit. It's limited. Use curves.
I said, look, other people have done this. I know Luigi's team has done this. I've done this. There's multiple ways you can use multiple programs. There's a program called DaVinci that you can use, or you can use various settings or effects, enhancements in Photoshop to bring it out. But he said this.
Yes, I'm going to show all that. I'm going to show all of that shit. I meant to do that shit from day one. But you got to understand, there's so much that's going to go into this, dude. And people that are getting hung up on settings and worrying about, like, how did you do this? Those people, like, if they're getting hung up on that shit, dude, there's no way and there's no point for me to even move forward with showing anything else. Because if you're hung up on that shit, you're, like, missing the point. You're missing the boat here. Listen to what I am saying. Don't get hung up on one piece.
So, look, I've told him I want to see him do it on his computer, so pull up a video. I know there's nothing controversial about what he did, and he's so hyper confident that anyone can do this that he is not compelled to prove to you that he didn't tamper with it. So it's just a matter of, he has to be brought back to kindergarten to say, look, show us, literally show us. The world is totally cynical. We have been bombarded with so much bullshit on a daily basis that we literally trust nothing. So yes, you have to show us. But he comes back with this. Don't get hung up on the settings. It's not about that. Watch this.
People keep fucking asking me that, bro. Like, I don't understand. People keep going, what was your settings? What were your settings to get this result? Da-da-da. And it's like, I told them, bro, you don't need to change the image at all to see it. That is merely highlighting it. You don't have to change anything. There's nothing special I did to it. I'm gonna show what I did to it and show you how you can do it, but I didn't do anything special. And the most important thing is you do not need to change it to see the hangers, because if you had to change it or manipulate it to the point to see the hangers, now you can make a real argument for a pixelation and shit.
Well, the thing is, that is the first piece. So this was featured in Luigi's movie S-4. There is a photo of the hangars. It was taken by the short little fat man in the Cessna. Okay, that is a huge piece of evidence. And by the way, one of the reasons he's not interested in proving to you that the image is the image, or that you can see those geometric shapes in the image, is number one, you could go do this yourself. So he doesn't want to walk you through it. And other people have done this themselves, and it's not even controversial. They are there. But number two, even with the image the way it is, people don't believe this image. People are not impressed by this image. This image is not enough for people. So in other words, we're arguing over the minutia of how you came to an image that doesn't even convince people. So he basically doesn't even see the point of it. But there is a point. You have to establish the credibility of this Exhibit A piece of evidence, which it has been established, but then address the fact that, okay, it's not enough for people. They're like, look, it's blurry, whatever, it's 17 miles away. Is that a structure? Maybe it's just a weird alignment of shadows and bushes and, rocks. Who knows what people think it might be.
If you believe it, then that photo will become like, oh, look, you can definitely see that the one on the end is bigger and there's structure here. If you don't believe it, then you're just going to see it as photographic noise.
So that image is there. It resonated with people who understand what it means. Look, the fact that Bob Lazar saw that image and said, that is the hangars, that is them. That's where they are. That's where I said they were. That's where I told Luigi they were. That's where I've been saying they were for 35 years. I've been saying they're there. That's why I'm not impressed, by the way, when someone shows me a picture of the hangars that I have been telling the world have been there. What, I'm supposed to be impressed by that? I'm telling you they're there. So don't send me a picture and then say, aren't you happy that you've been vindicated, Bob? He's like, fuck, I'm the one that told you about this. Don't boomerang back to me evidence that I'm not a liar and expect me to be impressed. I'm not a fucking liar.
There's got to be part of you somewhere in there, even though it would be counterproductive. There's got to be part of you that wishes, God damn it, I know what happened. It's true.
No, look, I know what happened is true. There's no doubt, period. There's no delusion. And there are some things I can say that will bolster the case, and I'm not going to. It's going to stay that way. I do regret, at this point, bringing anything forward.
But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the video call I did with Scott Mitchell the other day, in which we went over some other evidence. So forget Exhibit A. Okay, you go deal with Exhibit A. You're not impressed by it. Okay, we get it. You're a super skeptical guy. Thumbs up. Good job. Let's talk about a new exhibit, shall we? Now, I want you to understand, this dude is a young guy. He's 29 years old. He grew up in a different era than me, okay? I had to adapt to computers. Now, I'm pretty good with computers. I've been on them every day of my life for 20, 30 years, something. I'm pretty good at using computers. I've made videos that have been seen by hundreds of millions of people, music videos, animations. I was a web designer. I'm a video editor. I'm literally very adept at being on a computer, but I am from Gen X. So let's just acknowledge that. And this guy is from a different time, a different era. I guess he was on a computer in his diapers because he expects me to maneuver around my screen like a goddamn ninja. He's going after me about my tabs. I have too many tabs open and it's fucking with the Wi-Fi apparently. Which company does this? Who made this? Google.
I can't hear you. It's lagging like a motherfucker.
Is that your Wi-Fi or mine? It can't be mine.
Motherfucker, if you don't close all them goddamn tabs, you got 100 goddamn tabs open. Close that shit.
No, the tabs aren't doing shit. It's this. The computer can handle it. I'm not. It's a Wi-Fi strong for me. It's probably on your end.
Maybe.
But okay, and there's a scene from The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, where it's the guy who plays James Bond. They're working on a case trying to solve a murder mystery. And this young woman, a different generation, she's more adept at computers. And he's trying to find a photo, or he's searching around, dicking around on his computer. And she's sitting there going, oh my God, this fucking boomer. Can you please hurry up? We actually, me and Scott had that happen, where he sends me to a site to look at some topography map or whatever. And I'm supposed to put in some coordinates. I don't see where I'm supposed to put in the coordinates. And here's what happens.
It's amazing what you figured out with the parade photos.
Thank you.
It's too bad you don't have hers.
Whose?
Huh.
Sorry. Yeah, I do close that. No. No. That's one. Where the fuck's that? That's down there, isn't it? Okay. Oh, yeah.
But I can give you the view. I'm about to pull up, by the way. I'm like 2 minutes away.
Okay, good.
Okay, now go get your coordinate from the coordinate list I gave you. Wink, wink. Now go get the top of the hill one. Use the top of the hill.
Okay.
Don't use the door. Use the top of the hill. Yep, use that one. Yes.
Okay, and we'll pop it over.
Now put that in your viewer.
Uh-huh.
Go put it in there. Hit enter.
Layers. Where do I put it in? Up top? I don't see it.
It should be. Look for the little enter box. I don't know where it's at. You're
down here?
just lagging and stuff. So
Okay.
I think it's top. No, not
Oh,
there,
that's my
motherfucker.
whole
What are you doing? What are you doing? This motherfucker put the coordinate in the goddamn window search box.
I remember. I'm all over the map here, man. Oh, I see it. Here, over here.
Man, this motherfucker. Hold on. Yeah, right there. There you go. Look at you. Come on, Grandpa.
Dude,
There you
these
go.
are
Look
new
at you. Look
programs.
at you.
These
All
are
right.
new programs.
Now zoom
All
out.
right. Yeah. Okay, so that
Yes. All right. Now zoom out. Okay. Now this is the one they changed.
motherfucker called me grandpa because I happened to put it in the freaking. I got led down. Okay, look, I'm under pressure here. I'm putting my coordinates into the Windows search, and I'm being mocked openly. I got a backseat driver mocking and chastising me for pasting something into the wrong search bar. Jesus Christ. All right, so it's hostile. It's fucked up. Nah, it's all right. I mean, to restore my honor, I'm probably going to have to hit a drive-by on this dude. Know what I'm saying? It's whatever. But he wanted to talk about topography maps, and I'm like, oh, God, what the fuck? What a topography map? What? What is a topography map? Like, is that elevation of mountains? Why? Who cares? Okay, I used to study that. Topography map is when I was in Boy Scouts, and we needed to figure out how tall the mountain is we're about to climb. I would look at a topography map. I mean, it's just a bunch of lines. It's essentially a way of representing 3 dimensions on a 2-dimensional surface. So how are we supposed to tell how steep these hills are, how tall the mountains are? You could put a number on there, but we need a visual representation to show elevation, and they do it with these lines and these contours, and you can get a general sense of things. Now, come to find out that topography maps have changed and updated how they do things. And the way they do them now is way more accurate and detailed and using the aid of lasers.
You know, I have one simple request, and that is to have sharks with frickin' laser beams attached to their heads.
So let me briefly just give you a little intro to how that works. They have something called LiDAR, which stands for light detection and ranging. And what they would do is they create a digital map of, they'd send out lasers, they would ping off the surface of the Earth and come back in a certain amount of time. They would translate that information, that data, into a visual representation of the elevation of the surface of the Earth. It's the same technology as sonar or radar. It's the same idea, the same concept. You're pinging something off and detecting range or distance based off the time it takes for it to come back. And they're using lasers for that, and laser is an acronym, a lot of people might not know that, it stands for Light Amplification by Stimulated Emission of Radiation. And so what we have to realize is we're on the verge of Bob Lazar, his name, it sounds like laser. And that's weird, because lasers are scientific, he's scientific, it's not laser, it's Lazar, which is kind of bizarre, but it turns out that lasers are about to vindicate Lazar.
LiDAR, or light detection and ranging, is a tool used to quickly, accurately, and densely measure 3D features from the world around us. LiDAR sensors can take hundreds of thousands of measurements each second and are represented in the form of a point cloud. The point cloud can be used in various analytical processes to take distance measurements, compute volumes, and model objects in 3 dimensions. LiDAR is an active remote sensing system, meaning that the LiDAR system itself actively generates laser pulses used to take the measurement.
Didn't it have to be that way? Bob Lazar ends up lasers are a big part of proving that he wasn't lying? Yeah, that works. Well done. Destiny, well done.
These laser pulses are pulses of light that travel from the sensor to the ground and reflect off of things like buildings and tree branches. The reflected signal then returns to the LiDAR sensor where it is recorded and stored as a distance. LiDAR data can be used to estimate tree height, measure power line sag, detect changes in topography from one date to another, and numerous other applications. Phoenix LiDAR Systems is dedicated to making and sharing high quality content on this channel. If you have any questions for us, be sure to leave them in the comments section below. Thanks for watching, we will see you next time.
Talk about stubby little fat man. No one's bloody laughing. What is this guy doing? What is he doing? Okay, that's the Phoenix LiDAR Systems, and that dude is trying to upstage everyone. Well done. What they do with that information when they get it is visually represent it, but instead of contours, which is the old method, they do something called hill shading. And hill shading is when you add shadow, you have a default sun that you usually put on the top left, so it's coming from the northwest, and you have it come down. So the same way that if you have a piece of text in Photoshop and you put a drop shadow on it, there needs to be a default setting for where the shadow is aimed. And it's usually the same direction. The light source is coming from the top left, and it casts a shadow down, and it lets us register it in 3 dimensions. So you're adding these shadows to showcase, oh, there is a mountain here, there is a hill, there's an elevation difference, and you're seeing it through the shading. And to teach you about that, here's a little video. Oh my god, that corporate music is amazing.
Hello and welcome to another Ask the Experts. I'm Rachel Landry, and today I'm joined by my colleague Mackenzie Mills, the technical content writer here at the company. Today Mackenzie will be talking to us about dynamic hill shading. Alright Mac, take it away.
Oh my god, I feel like I'm in Office Space or Fight Club. I just need out of this office. I need out of this HR department. I'm not going to talk to this woman at a water cooler during lunch break. I can't do it.
So the Dynamic Hillshade tool in Global Mapper is a great tool for 3D data visualization when you're working with terrain or elevation models. So here in this Global Mapper workspace, we've got an elevation model loaded, and we're seeing the raw elevation values here. They are shaded with our default Atlas shader, so we're seeing that variation in elevation. And on the left side of the screen, we have an elevation legend showing us, what those colors mean so that we can interpret them. Now, this is a great visualization. We're seeing that change in elevation. We can use this layer for analysis, of course, but we can also enhance the view of this data by enabling hill shade. So going up to the view toolbar and enabling the hill shade, we're applying a light source, which brings out additional texture and detail in this data. So this is the same data we were seeing with that previous visualization, but we've just applied some lighting to it.
Okay, so this is just a basic overview as to what hill shading is, as to what topography is, and how we're doing it now. So it's all been modernized ever since the turn of the century, and it's gotten better and better. We have a thoroughly comprehensive way of detecting differences in elevation and then representing them visually with hill shading and with these artificial shadows that are put in so that we can see the 3-dimensionality of the map, and it's all based off super accurate data based off the pings from lasers. Now, having said that, that's why Scott Mitchell said, Grandpa, bring up a topography map. I sent you a link. Now put in these coordinates. No, not in the Windows search bar.
You're just lagging and stuff. So
okay.
I think it's top. No, not there,
that's my whole fucking.
What are you doing? This motherfucker put the coordinate in the goddamn Windows search box.
I'm all over the map here, man. Okay, eventually we got to a map, and it's a map of Papoose Lake and the mountains surrounding it. The mountain that Bob said there was a series of 9 hangars in. That's what Bob said. Here's what happened the other day. This is the live footage of me and Scott and him walking me through the link he had just sent me.
Okay, now this is the topography viewer. They changed right after I talked to you that day.
Yeah.
I have all the videos and screenshots. I'll show you.
They changed what?
You could see the hangar doors on this viewer the day after you said, what if they change it? They changed it.
No way.
But I have another one that they didn't change it on.
Okay.
And you can see, literally, now I want you to take that, get in a good orientation, and flip through the different topography viewers of that.
Okay, so which ones are good? All these?
Just go through them and look through it. You'll see, like, whichever ones show good contours and shit. Some of them don't work, but some of them do.
And so,
If
which
it shows
company?
nothing, it's not good.
Which company does this? Like,
What's that?
who made this? Google.
I can't hear you. It's lagging like a motherfucker.
Is that your Wi-Fi or mine? It can't be mine.
Motherfucker, if you don't close all them goddamn tabs, you got 100 goddamn tabs
That's
open. Close that shit.
No, the tabs aren't doing shit. It's this. The computer can handle it. I'm not. It's a Wi-Fi strong for me. It's probably on your end.
Maybe.
But okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that's just one. Cesium
Let me
on
check.
the ArcGSI World Hill Viewer. That's just okay. Here you go. Yeah, there's one. That's one you can see it on. Fix orientation to zoom out. Do you see the shade? Do you see the fucking rectangular shape?
Down here.
Yep. Do you see that little hill? Do you see that little fucking rectangular,
right
barely visible shadow? Yep.
The fuck is that?
Change the orientation. It'll become more visible.
Is that them?
Look straight down. Yes.
Dude, that's
zoom out.
What the fuck is that? Dude, that's
it.
the hangers?
Do you see that anywhere else? Look around anywhere else. Look around anywhere else in the image.
That's just a random little cliff, little thing.
Nah, motherfucker. That's the structure of the hangars. That's the outline. Topography shows the shape and contours. When you zoom in, it will hide it. There's other viewers I have that show it, where you can literally count the doors. That's the bad one. But if you look, you gotta find the sweet
Hold on,
spot
I got
to
some
see it.
dirt
You gotta
on
find
my
the sweet spot. You gotta
screen.
zoom out and shit.
Yeah. I got some dirt on my screen that's sort of interfering with this, but for a second there, I saw there. Whoa, from here, from this angle.
Yes, I just said you gotta find the sweet spot.
What the fuck,
You
dude?
can
Are those
see
the? That's the hangers right there. Hold on.
Now take that, screenshot it, go
Yeah.
to Photoshop and darken it, and it'll bring it out real good.
I could threshold that, or what do I do?
Yeah, no, don't threshold, just curve it.
Curve it. All right. Let me curve that. Oh shit, that is wild, man. What is that? So that this is the shadow here is detecting what?
This is the shape, topography, contours of the structure. This shows shape.
So this doesn't seem like it's
Okay,
connected
notice
to anything.
the rectangular, non-natural,
Yeah,
non-human
non-natural.
shape.
So that's being picked up by some satellite density.
Yes, because you
detector.
cannot hide from topography. You can hide from eyes with camouflage. You cannot hide the shape of the frame of the door.
How is topography? Oh my
Now
god!
turn
there
that
it
shit
is.
way down. Turn it way down. Yes.
Dude, it's fucking right there.
No shit.
Dude, that's the fucking. What else is that gonna be? But hold on.
Exactly. Do you see where I'm? Man, you got so much to learn, young Jedi.
But wait a minute, like it's not anywhere else. There is no other little.
No shit. Man, you hear this motherfucker? This motherfucker in goddamn kindergarten.
Because-
do you hear the excitement building in his
Well,
voice?
well,
As he gets out seeing this like I did.
Well, because everything else is connected. All this topography is connected to
No
the slope of the
shit.
mountain, and then this
Now
is like a
imagine
man-made
that
structure.
times even more.
So this should help us.
I'm about to, hey, hold on. Hey, I'm about
Yeah.
to call you back. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Give me
Okay.
60 seconds.
You got it.
I'm gonna call you right back.
All right. Wow, that's fucking wild right there. Because that is exactly where he's saying it is. And if you could triangulate from the top of the mountain to like this first hangar to this weird shape in this thing, and somehow use that to just verify on other views, other maps. Wow, topography is giving us this structure. Holy shit, Bob might not be lying. Because, damn, I thought he was kidding. He was talking about hangar doors are right here. And does that sync up? Like, could you line this up with the Cessna shot? Probably. I mean, this is the view. The view from Cessna is kind of this angle. So you're not getting a straight-on shot of it. Yeah, so from here, it's like... Hold on. I take that, paste that in here. Still getting used to this Mac. And so the point I'm making is, if this is the top of that mountain, and this is the... See, this, I don't know if this lake contour changes over time. I presume it does, so I'm not sure how valid it would be to use it as a point of reference. But if... That's a terrible... If the hangars are here... Is there a way to line that up? I mean, it's probably be next to impossible, really. I'm not even sure what I guess what I'm trying to do is validate whether or not this shape is in the right spot. Does this track onto this image? Can we verify that? And can you base it off? That's the top of the mountain. This is the contour of the lake. So it would need to be right here.
The S-4 installation is built into the mountain, and the hangar doors are built on an angle commensurate with the slope of the mountain. These doors are covered with a sand-textured coating to blend in with the side of the mountain and the desert floor.
Is there anywhere else that has like a weird, just rectangular thing right in the place we would
Hello, no pussy ass bitch. Hello.
What up, man? What up, man?
What?
You're gonna teach me how to talk Southern. I can't believe this.
Hey, what have I done?
Dude, you've hidden.
Hello?
Yo, you've hidden this shit, man. This one is crazy. The topography is damning.
Hey, man, wait till I show you when I get there, bro. I'm almost there. Wait till I get there.
Okay. But I mean, to pop it
I'm
out
about
a bit.
to fuck you up, bam.
Damn. Go easy on me.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to.
I mean, look at this.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Now stop. Now go to smart sharp.
Smart sharp. Okay. Sharpen smartly.
Yep, smart sharpen and zoom the fuck in. And I got it to where you can count the doors.
No, really?
Zoom in.
Okay, well, I mean,
Zoom in, not in the little box, the big box. Yeah, zoom in the big box.
In the big box.
Zoom in the big box first.
Like this?
Yeah. Closer.
There's no way. There's no way.
Get closer.
You're telling me you'd have
Get closer,
vertical
closer as you can. Okay.
Vertical striations?
Yeah. Now this one, listen. This one, it's the one where it will disappear when you get close. So this one you probably won't be able to count.
Okay.
But in the other one, you can get close. It doesn't disappear, and you can smart sharpen and count the doors, and it brings out.
Okay, that would fuck me up. So we got to find that view.
Well, I'm about to fuck you up real bad.
Hold
like
on.
you about to go to have to go to hospital. Like,
If you could, I mean, I'm already pretty tripped out on this shit right here because. Like,
look, do you see what I'm saying? Like, bro, like you can say whatever you want. I'm telling you, it's
okay,
all
hold
the
on.
shit you want. It's coming. Just be patient.
Let me just rack my brain here. This is a totally legitimate. See, I have to understand how topography maps operate. Like, how are they even?
Okay, topography is based off altitude data
Yeah.
of different or fucking elevation height data. So the top of the hill versus the bottom of the lake bed. So if you're standing on the ground in front of the doors versus the top of the fucking hill.
Okay, but
that is how it's calibrated. They do that with everything, and it gives you a 3D picture of everything. That's how they map everything.
but
That's how they
why-
do everything. This is not just this. This is with everything.
why is it putting
Now,
shadows
some of
here?
the topography viewers
Yeah.
will pick up more detail than others.
Uh-huh.
This one just so happens to have enough detail in it on accident to pick up the rectangular frame.
Okay, but is it detecting mass or density or like I don't understand
It's detecting the little indentation that's built into the hillside because hey, look, man, it doesn't matter what we do. If we go out there and dig and then we try to replace it, it's not natural. You're gonna detect it. You're going, bro, because we fuck with human. We're humans.
Yeah.
You made a non-natural rectangular formation. You can cover it back up or even try to build it back the same way.
Now let me-
It's gonna be detectable.
Now let me try to find other so this is just a little hole or nook.
You're not going to. You're gonna find little anomalies and little fucked
Like,
up shit. You're not
that's
gonna find it.
Natural. So there's no
You're not
geometric
gonna find
shapes.
another rectangle in that exact position. You're not. Go look.
Yeah, I am. I'm looking just to. I mean, but what's crazy is like this topography view. The fact that it's showing something. This is exactly
a shitty one.
This is a
shitty
shitty one
too. This is a bad one.
But this is showing exactly where we would have expected to see that shape.
It's what?
This is exactly where we would expect to see this shape.
Yeah, exactly. What are the chances, bro?
Based off this. Like
Yes, based off everything, and the door open with the disc outside.
I mean, but it disappears. Like it's not even, and then you see it, and it's like
Yes,
just a hint of
because
it.
I told you, bro. Listen, they're not doing that on purpose. It's an accident. Like it's not, bro. Like they don't
Yeah.
mean to do this. Like nobody's aware that this is happening. Like the people that
Yes.
make these, they don't know that.
So you found out by well, how did? But
yes,
this,
remember what I just told you? The more viewers you have, the more chances at getting a piece of gold.
And so you're telling me that there are versions of this topography map where you're seeing shit like this?
Yes!
Dude, if I see that, I'm gonna go buy a cigar.
Motherfucker, look what you already look at.
I mean, look at the shit, dude.
You can't count them in that, but you can see the shape.
Well, I mean, I've fucked up the perspective here, but it's like, yeah, that's...
No, bro, like in that one you can't because it disappears. You can't get close enough. Remember what I told you about you have to get close without it changing?
So,
that's important with the topography viewer. That's important with the satellite viewer. That's important if you want the details.
See, I'm wondering about the angle of Zeifman's photo. I don't even think it is that. What angle?
Bro, listen. I have a map I made the other day of where you can only see. I show, if you want to go see S-4 in real life, I show the only angles that the doors are viewable from in real life. So if you want to see the entry door, it's only viewable from this angle and this angle. If you want to go see the hangar doors, it's only visible from this angle and this angle.
Right.
Yeah, so like, I make a little map of that showing the exposure angles.
See, because
this is designed from the ground up to be hidden and not detectable from aerial.
No, they did a good job. They did a good job.
Like, you got to understand what to look for. Yes, they did until me. Yeah.
Okay, so then let me ask you about this shape, the shape in of the lake. How consistent is that over the years?
Right. Listen, there's also going to be little. You got to understand. Don't take this fully at like 100% accurate value.
No.
The satellite viewer, even with that, you have to account for a little bit of forgiveness because of the way the satellite is mapping the topography. There's going to be slight variation, and it's not going to be 100% accurate to the real life thing. It's going to give you a very close view. It's not going to be perfect.
Okay, so my issue is just to verify if this is
that you can't measure it the same way because the angle is different. Your depth perception,
I know.
Your angle of view, everything is different.
But I'm looking for
versus top down.
an approximation of. See, I
yes,
feel
that's
like
what you're looking for. So you're gonna pick something on the lake, but don't pick that top one.
Why not?
The top one is too far away.
No, but the top is an actual.
Far away. Go look at it on satellite. It's way too far away. It's too hard to measure. Pick one that is closer. Go on satellite and pick a lip that is super close.
But hold on,
that one right there. Find that close lip.
But
see the water lip, the closest water lip.
This water area. Okay, hold on.
No, not the edge. The top edge that's closest to the mountain. Right where it turns blue. The top edge, man.
Up here.
Right there. Yeah, you were there. Yeah. Now go look for that on the DSLR photo and account for the perspective twist or the perspective
like
change.
Over here.
And account for that. Now go find it. Yep. Now go find the exact spot. Look at them back and forth. Improve the photo. Like enhance that. Turn up the fucking levels. Like make it brighter. Use curves so you can actually see what the fuck you're looking at. And then do it.
Okay, but
like do curves on that.
Oh yeah. I mean I could bring in the enhanced version.
You need that right now because if you don't, bro, you can't accurately measure.
No, I'm not trying to.
Somebody calling me a lot. I gotta hang this shit up because I can't hear you while they're calling.
Okay.
Right, hello. Yep. Okay, now zoom in, man. You gotta zoom the fucking.
Well, hold on. I'm just trying to ask you. I mean, I'm not even running the experiment now. I'm just want to talk about the theory of this, because look, I'm gonna bring this in right here. Paste. All right. So let's fuck all this.
All right. Hello.
Yep.
Oh. All right. I'm back. Hey. Okay. Now watch your video. Go ahead.
Okay. So what I'm saying is that topography thing is incredibly.
You gotta zoom in while you're doing this. You gotta zoom in.
Yes. Yes. Well, I'm not going for an exact right now.
The closer you get, the better. But yeah, continue.
Okay.
I'm listening.
So this is if these are the doors. I'm just trying to cross-reference that. Okay, here's what I'm trying to get at. This topography.
Make a new layer. Yeah, there you go. Now draw on that. Draw on it.
Yes, I can draw anywhere.
Make a draw, and now draw a line. Remember what I said. It's not going to be exactly perfect, but it's going to be in the general area because there's going to be a few millimeters of shift based off of the. I forgot what the word is. Let me see what the word is for satellite parallax. There, hold on.
Okay.
What's the word for it? Here it is. It's called. It's called a geometric. Correct. Where is it? Hold on. I'm looking at.
Yeah.
It's called perspective distortion and
Okay.
what's the optical parallax, I think it's called, is whether it's the way the satellite picks it up when it's going over the Earth. It's at an angle, it's at speed, it's curved, and it's being mapped. So there's going to be a few feet of where it's slightly different. That's why you see the shape of the rectangle is slightly off than where it's supposed to be.
Yeah. No, I know
That rectangle should be like a click or two back.
Yeah, this is not exact, but here my point is, I
Yes,
feel like
but it's there. It's there. That you got to account for the forgiveness of that.
okay. I'm just trying to triangulate. So, if we took the top of the mountain as a point, that seems like an anchor point that I could find on this.
Now do the edge of the lake bed. Do it.
Yeah.
The edge of the lake bed lip, the closest water wing.
Like over this one, like so. Hold on.
Count. No, that's the top of the lake bed.
Edge? What do you mean over here?
Go to the fucking top down. Go
Uh,
top down topography viewer again. The one you just had. Go back to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you see the fucking blue that is closest to the doors?
Yes. Right here.
Yep, right there. Use that. Now go find that in the DSLR image.
Okay.
Yep. Now zoom in. It's that one right there. Nope. Back. Keep going.
Which one?
It's way back there in the back. You see it? Yep. That's it.
That one.
Now put a dot and now go flip back and forth
Mhm.
and make sure.
Well, I mean,
Now flip back and forth and make sure. I'm saying bring up the top down
Yeah,
view
yeah.
and then that view.
I mean, make
Yes,
sure.
that's it, because you got to account
Oh,
for that.
I see.
Now, you see that one in the back? That you got to make sure it's not that one. And I know it's not because I've
Right.
already done this. That one in the back, it could trick you.
Okay.
It's not. You see the
So-
angle change?
right.
It's not.
So
It's not.
The issue I'm saying, we could do this all technical, but this is just a rough version. But like, if the top of the mountain is somewhere here, and if you could sort of align and be like, okay, so from here to here is this, and it's
Now
going to
do
be
it,
at
but you do
this
another one, do
angle,
another
you know. And if we had some, if somebody had put like a fire
I'm so
hydrant right
proud.
here,
I'm so proud. Look at him. He's doing it.
so
He's doing it.
so you could cross check this and just to get the
Yes.
approximation of like, oh, that is where it
Good
is.
job. Look at you.
Yeah, so like if we had
I'm
our
so proud.
Thank you. I mean, I'm learning on the fly here. If we had a fire hydrant here that we could lock down and we could get angles and shit, then it's like,
Look at you. Look at him doing it.
wow, yeah, that's wild, man. But I mean, I'm already
Do you see how this picture is coming together for you?
yes, but
I'm starting to understand.
this line, my brain is processing what else could that be, and like Jesus Christ, and if let's try to find,
And go through the process of elimination.
Yeah.
Go through the process of elimination, and you're gonna come to the same conclusions I'm coming to. I did this for fucking years.
Okay,
I'm trying
so-
to give you a shortcut. I'm telling you
Now,
what it is.
Here's what's weird. This is not visible in the satellite. There is no indentation. There's no shadow. There's no.
And satellite, yes, it is. It's camouflage because satellite
Camouflage,
is picking up an
yes.
image. Topography is picking up
Density or
height
something.
data and making an image for you.
I don't know how it's getting into the. I don't.
It's getting picked up because it's not a picture. It is being picked. Do you see them numbers over there? 4,000
Yes,
something? It's being painted. All the numbers, the geometric height elevation data of the terrain. The terrain is being measured in numbers. And then once all the numbers are made, it generates a 3D picture for you. And in the picture, it's going to detect the difference in the structure of the frame. And in satellite,
hold on.
you can hide it because you're literally camouflaging it.
Yes.
It's different. It's made differently. That's why you're being able to pick it up.
Okay, but hold on. Let me express this. Is the technology used to do a topography map? How does it know there's a recess in here if it is covered?
It doesn't. It is picking up the frame differential from the rest of the mountain. Because when you make that frame, it's going to be different than the dirt around it, even by a few feet. But if you camouflage that, you can hide it from eyes. But if I do a literal scan with a LiDAR laser, it is going to detect it
Well,
and paint a picture of it.
that's what I'm saying. You're saying a laser would go through
Yes,
and
that's,
detect
bro,
density.
don't look up how topography is done.
Yeah, I don't.
You
I
need
don't
to
know.
fucking.
I don't know because I'm trying to make sense of why it can reveal
I'm trying
this.
to explain. Yeah,
Okay,
I get what you're saying for sure. I was at where you were at. I was at where you're at. I fully get it.
Okay, so now let's review. What do we have now? That geometric shape, which is the shape of those hangars, which are over 1,000 feet wide, got to be over 50 feet tall. It is a large surface. What I was confused with right there is the fact that it is not detecting a cavern within. It's not detecting the spatial dimensions of the hangars. It's detecting the hangar doors and the fact that they are not flush to the surrounding mountain. As in, if you built that thing in the 50s, say, it's not going to be a perfect fit. It could be close, but you have a man-made structure and you have a hillside that is prone to erosion, wind, weather, just the changing of the landscape. It is not flush to the mountaintop. And what ends up happening is it is embedded. So there is a dip. There is a difference in elevation between the hangar doors and the mountain. And the lasers, not the Lazars, the lasers pick that up. They can't stop that. This technology speaks for itself. It does what it does. And it says, look, I don't know about you, but when we ping our lasers off this area, we're detecting an over 1,000-foot wide rectangular shape that is not the same elevation as the surrounding parts. And it's not a huge dip, and that's why the shadow was light. A light shadow got rendered instead of a dark one because it's not a gorge, it's not a pit, it's just a couple foot difference. And it picked it up, and it broadcast it. And if you know where to look, and if you know what you were looking for, and if you darken it up and brighten it up and increase the contrast, that is the hangars. That is S-4. Bob Lazar was not lying. This is Exhibit B. Couple that with Exhibit A, it is in the exact same spot as the geometric shape featured in the Cessna picture, 0501. It's in the exact same location. We're talking about the same thing. This is independent, corroborating evidence from a totally different technology. This is not another eyewitness account. This is not another two-dimensional picture that is blurry and inconclusive. This is essentially an X-ray. It's an elevation map. It's a topography map using lasers that you can go recreate
Frickin'
yourself.
laser
Don't
beams
trust
attached
me.
to
Don't
their
trust
head.
Scott Mitchell. Don't trust anybody. Trust yourself. The link is in the effing description, my man. The coordinates, type in Papoose Lake. I'll put the coordinates in of the mountaintop, but you could find this yourself, Google Earth this yourself. No one would think to look at a topography map. Why? How is this going to be a smoking gun? Well, it is a smoking gun. And yes, I was right, as if that means, oh, it means a lot to me. Of course I was right. All you goddamn goober idiot losers in the freaking comments can suck our balls. Where are you now? What do you have to say? What were you saying? What were you saying? Excuse me. What the fuck were you saying? Why don't you send your apology to me at devintracy@gmail.com. Send that shit. I fucking apologize. Goddamn cunt motherfuckers. You were wrong again. I was right again. How is there a geometric shape in the side of that mountain? That mountain, the S-4 mountain, the one that Bob said there was a man-made structure there, the one that he was mocked for having said that. No one trusted or believed him. Go check this yourself, partner. Go check it yourself. If this was a court case, if this was a criminal case, if this secondary piece of evidence coming from a rock-solid, completely third-party independent technology, confirming Bob's story, confirming that other picture, the fact that our government is hiding this, we have activity in the area, we have bus tracks leading to that spot, we have roads prior, map of it back in the day, we have Black Hawk helicopters popping in and out of that zone. Our government has already lied to us. This is the second secret military base Bob Lazar is right about. The first one was Area 51. No one believed him. Oh God, it was confirmed. He's right about that secret military base. This is another secret military base within that secret military base. This is the same guy. You didn't give him credit for the first time he did this. This is the second time he's done this. You want to give him some credit now? Are you ready to start listening to this man? He is right about the secret military base called S-4, carved into the side of the mountain. That's exactly what that is. There's no other way to dismiss this. Bob Lazar was correct. I was correct. My commenters are idiots. Gabe Zeifman is overweight. Scott Mitchell talks like he's a black guy. Bob Lazar ran a brothel. Bob Lazar is a nerd. Bob Lazar dated some weird Hell's Angel woman. Yep. And there's most likely UFOs and aliens. Yeah, and that. Unless you want to go crawl back to a new skeptic position, which is, oh, he wasn't lying about S-4, or that there are secret hangars carved into the side of a mountain, but what they were doing in there was, I don't know, playing tiddlywinks. They were playing Hungry Hippo. Our government is embarrassed about their obsession with the game Hungry Hippo, and that's why they were hiding it and lying about it. And I don't trust the rest of Bob's story. Even though 89% of Bob's story has been confirmed, I don't trust the remaining percentage. Please illustrate that. By the way, not one skeptic has given that position because it's untenable and it's ridiculous. And so when you accept that Bob wasn't lying about those hangars in that mountain, and by the way, eat a satchel of dicks, all of you motherfuckers, I told you I was right, I fucking told you, and I want my ticker tape parade now. I want it now. Revise your dumbass position and tell me Bob's lying about the rest of it. You tell me he's lying about the rest of it. I want to hear it. I want to hear that weak, limp-dicked stance that I know some of you fucks are tempted to take. Take it and sign your name to it. And I'll say you're wrong again. And the next piece of evidence will come out that, oh, Bob was right again. So crawl into that cowardly, pathetic, weak hole, which is going to be your new position that has to incorporate. You have to now. That Bob wasn't lying about the hangars, and that S-4 is real. And you know what else is real? You know what's very, very likely to be real is that the UFOs that he described, that he was attempting to reverse engineer, that's all real too. That's the only logical stance to take at this point. It is an absurdist take to think of anything else but that is what happened. But please, you're welcome, world. Scott Mitchell has done this. He Indiana Jones the fuck out of this. He is the guy in the map room. He is Indy. We named the dog Indiana. All right? Yes, he's the Eminem of archaeology. Okay, it's not 8 Mile, it's 51 Mile. It's Area 51 Mile is what we're dealing with. Life is weird. Okay, shit happens. All right, I don't know what to tell you. Here's one thing I will tell you. Bob Lazar wasn't lying. I fucking told you so. Those hangars are there. You cope with it. You deal with it. You wrestle with that. You have a nice dream about it. Because in your dream, please understand, go click the link. Click the link and you look at this yourself. You tell me what it is. You tell me what that is there. Okay, it's over. It's over. If this was a court case, we would have convicted. We would have put this dude in the gas chamber. This evidence is beyond compelling. It's definitive. It's a mic drop. It's I told you so. It's disclosure day. It's Bob Lazar was telling the truth. Go deal with it. Okay, thank you to Scott Mitchell. Good job, my man. Very, very well done. We commend you. You can join me in the ticker tape parade. The man has horns coming out of his skull. His eyes are glowing. He's blinged out with a bunch of chains. He talks like an African American. And yet he is a very fastidious and thorough researcher, and he has figured out one of the greatest mysteries of, the last millennia, all of human history. So this is one small step for a bigger... No, okay. Whatever. You get the point. I don't give a shit what you think of me, what you think of Bob, what you think of brothels, what you think of Scott Mitchell, what you think about anything. I don't care about what you believe. I care about what is real and what is true. And when it comes to aliens and UFOs and whether or not this technology exists, there's a lot of other evidence. It's not just a Bob Lazar story. There's a ton of other evidence that UFOs are real. The Tic Tac UFOs, hello? How about Westall, Melbourne, Australia, 1966? 300 eyewitnesses? Yeah, that happened. The Zimbabwe thing, the aerial school, that happened too. So, it's an awkward situation that we find ourselves in. It's not comfortable. We don't have all the answers. But one thing we do know, you were fucking wrong about Bob Lazar. Okay? That's 100% we know that. So sorry for being uncouth. Sorry for not packaging this in a way that's, palatable for pussies or women or, soft human beings. Go fuck yourself. We don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck, dude. Choke yourself, motherfuckers. We don't care. That's the truth. That's the evidence. Go check it yourself. Link in the description. You're welcome, by the way, on behalf of Scott Mitchell and myself and Bob Lazar. You're welcome for being enlightened and dragged out of the matrix of your own ignorance. So was Bob really reverse engineering a UFO in S-4? A place that didn't exist until, in your brain about 10 minutes ago? Yeah, he was. So let's tinker with the calibrations in our brains about how we're thinking about all of this, about Bob, about UFOs, about aliens, because we caught you, government. We caught you red-handed. We caught you with your pants down. The lasers vindicated Lazar. It's fucking right there.
No shit!
Dude, that's the fucking... Well, what else is that gonna be? But,
exactly!
the time when Bob said there would be a test, there was a strange light jumping around in the sky above the location where he said it would be at the time and date he said it would be.
You know, here, the craft took off when I said it was taking off from past the mountain range, which was Papoose Lake, S-4, south of Area 51, you know, in a restricted area. So it's not like anyone was out there with a model plane or anything. And, you know, flew around, did incredible maneuvers that impressed everybody to the point where we got scared and got behind a car, fearing the thing was going to explode. But really, how do you explain that?
It's bright right now.
You'd have to think that if they had the stuff, they spent all these years trying to figure it out, and they were just stumped, that they'd just bury it somewhere. They wouldn't talk about it. They wouldn't let it out. They wouldn't want any of our adversaries to know about its potential.
Oh, they
because somebody else.
They'd never do that. They'd tinker with it forever. They'd never just bury it and throw it away, because just on the, you know, outside hope that, you know, a new young upstart comes in somewhere, has some neat idea, and now finally they have access to all this power and technology. They're never going to throw it on the back shelf. It's their prized possession. You know, they're never just going to throw it in a box and do, you know, one of the Raiders of the Lost Ark thing and some giant